Hey homies, welcome back to another Dirtbag review. Oh yeah, and before you start tripping, it says no cerveza, no trabajo. All right, so so don't get all panties in the bunch, homies. All right. So anyway, real quick, I just want to say, you know what, man? The '80s had some of the best movies I ever seen. I like a lot of stuff from like the '90s and '70s and early 2000s had some pretty good stuff. Like even like Peter Jackson's. The Lord of the Rings, man, those movies were dynamite, right? But man, nothing like just the stories and the ideas that were coming out of the '80s, man. Love them. That's why I talk so much about them. I'll venture into other things eventually, but right now we are talking about another movie from 1987. It's definitely a classic in my book. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys about it once you guys watch the clip. All right. So I los watcho, homies. See you on the flip side.
Guard! Oye, big boy. Habla español.
No.
I like your shoes.
Oh, thanks.
I like your shirt too.
Great.
I really like your pants. Why don't you take off your pants?
Yeah, man. Take off the pants.
Whoa, what are you guys in for?
Good times.
All right, so you guys probably guessed already. We're talking about Born in East L.A. It came out in 1987. It was directed and written by Cheech Marin. It's starring Cheech Marin as Rudy, Paul Rodriguez as Javier, Daniel Stern as Jimmy. Let me backtrack a little bit. I'm running through this too fast. So Cheech Marin is the main character. His name is Rudy. He lives in East L.A. He's a Hispanic dude, but he doesn't really speak Spanish. You know what I mean? Happens a lot. A lot of people don't. Just because you're brown doesn't mean you speak Spanish. Just because you got a last name like Hernandez doesn't mean you're gonna speak Spanish. It just happens. It's like, especially if you live in the United States, it's not really the common tongue here. But anyway, I speak Spanish. I'm just saying, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, then you got Paul Rodriguez, who is Javier, who plays Javier, who is Rudy's cousin, who is illegally in the country, and Rudy's got to go pick him up from work, and this is where all the trouble begins, because, we'll get into it here in a minute. All right, let me just run through the names real quick first. And then you got Daniel Stern, who's Jimmy. He owns a bar. He's a businessman down in Mexico, He's a white man living in TJ, basically, And he's running a bar. He's also coyote. Does all kinds of stuff, you know what I mean? He's just, he's a hustler, you know what I mean? And then you got Kamala Lopez as Dolores, who is Rudy's love interest and just really interesting character that's also living in Tijuana, but she's also not Mexican. She's actually from El Salvador, I believe, and she's just on her way up, And then we got Lupe Ontiveros as Rudy's mother, or you might remember her as the lady who killed Selena in the Selena movie, Oh man, I forgot that she was in this movie, and then when I went back to rewatch it and I saw her, I was like, oh, I remember you. Oh, that poor lady got so much hate for portraying that woman, Yolanda. So anyway, forgive me for laughing so much. So anyway, so Rudy's on his way down to the factory, the toy factory, to go pick up his cousin Javier, who doesn't speak English, So he gets down there, and as he's showing up, the place gets raided, And unfortunately, Rudy left his wallet at home, so they bounced him to Mexico, Of course, he kind of messed up, too, because they asked him who the president of the United States was, and he says John Wayne. It was back in the 80s, so it was Ronald Reagan. But it's funny, So he ends up in Mexico, and he doesn't know what's going on because, he doesn't speak Spanish really very well, Just a little bit, He understands kind of thing, So he's down there, and then he gets locked up. Ends up almost getting you know, what happens to you in prison. But this dude named Phil jumps in to help him out, but now he owes this dude $100. You know, so he's just going through all his trials and tribulations to try to get back to the United States. He even goes to customs and he's like, hey, my name is Guadalupe. I can't remember. Rodolfo. And I can't remember his last name. My bad, homies. And they're like, they look him up and stuff on their little old school 1980s computer, and it turns like they're like, oh, you're a 51-year-old dude that's been coming to the United States illegally, gotten bounced out like a bunch of times. It's like, dude, he's like, he was in his 30s back then, you know. So he's like, dude, I'm not. Come on, look at me. So they bounce him back again, you know. I know you guys heard me snort too, so it's all good. I'm still a little sick, but anyway. So, you know, so then he runs into Jimmy, and Jimmy's like offering him to, you know, go work in front of his bar game. People are coming to the bar, you know. And this dude's such a hustler, man. He's like, hey, you can have whatever you want, you know, to eat. And then he charges them for the food and the beer, homies. But anyway, so you go through the story, you find out that Rudy was actually stationed in Germany in the army as a mechanic, you know. And he knows how to speak German apparently, but he doesn't know how to speak Spanish, you know. But it's all about cultural immersion, right? So anyway, and there's also some great scenes where he ends up playing with a local Mexican band there, you know, playing old rock songs, you know. And there's a really fun little montage where they're doing a Jimi Hendrix song, and you know, just like cinematography and stuff. It's pretty fun, you know. It's a fun little movie. It's definitely not the best Cheech movie, but I definitely do like this one. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool that he wrote and directed it, you know. It's a overall cool concept, you know. And even the stories for everybody else, you know, you get to learn about other people along the way. So it's actually a very well written movie, all right? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends, because sharing is caring. Drop a comment down below. Excuse me. Let me know what you guys think of the movie, you know, if you guys seen it or whatnot, you know. And then, like I said, please subscribe if you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet. Ya los guacho. Firme, homes.